family, how's every single one of you today? It's time to talk about AEW Dynamite, the go-home show for what is going to be Revolution. And this actually was a pretty great way to close, the shows for the pay-per-view. I liked it, and we had a big announcement by Tony Khan. And, AEW is always about surprises, and I was pleasantly surprised. We got to see a little bit of blood. The champion was also sort of got a match at the end, main event, finally. It's a good show for AEW Dynamite.
Yeah, for AEW Dynamite, there, of course, I'll be the one to say it first. There was some little things wrong here and there, some things we didn't like, whatever. But overall, for a go-home show, did this get you excited for the pay-per-view? I'm excited for it. I'm hyped up. We always say the pay-per-views always deliver great matches. Say what you will about AEW, but the pay-per-view is always noteworthy. Tony Khan said some new feuds will start, some feuds will end, lots to look forward to, lots to be excited for. And speaking of lots to be excited for, let's just go right into it.
Exactly.
In the first segment.
Thank you so very much to every single one of you. Keep subscribing, keep giving us love, support. We're absolutely everywhere in the social media waves. You name it. You like Facebook, over there, Instagram, all everywhere. Just, follow us, all the news, everything is right there. And what better news than Tony Khan, just announcing that maybe the way that he did it, he said it, I didn't like it too much because the way that he talks, he's not he's not trained to talk in public, I guess, but hey guys, yeah.
And he tried to still, and we're not trying to cut him up, but he tried to talk like he was manly and powerful, had that bass in his voice, but that wasn't natural. You could tell he was putting that on, and because when you hear him speak on podcasts and other interviews and stuff, he doesn't sound like that, and he has that stuttery voice and trying to do that fake big man voice while the stuttering and all that stuff, it just didn't lend well. But he essentially he wanted to he thanked all the fans. He said it's because of them that AEW is 3 years old and they got through the pandemic, and they're financially stable, doing great, awesome, and it's because of them and because of all that he was able to reach an agreement and with Sinclair Broadcasting and purchase Ring of Honor.
He's Ring of Honor.
Yeah, and he also said a lot of the Ring of Honor guys wrestle for AEW, and he was a big fan growing up because he said this company is 3 years old, and Ring of Honor was how many years old? He said
17.
it. 17, and so now, to just go not off topic, but one thing that nobody said, at least on the broadcast, is now maybe AEW is going to start up their streaming service, because now they can put 3 years of AEW TV and YouTube and pay-per-views plus all of Ring of Honor. So what a perfect time to start a streaming service, and if they do, hey, they got my money, I guess. I don't know. I'll probably do it.
What did you just say? All of that, I'm going to just elaborate a little more. I'm just going to add, because AEW is reach. They didn't say this in the broadcast, like you said, reach an agreement with HBO Max. And that's why, probably. HBO Max and them, they got an agreement of streaming some kind of shows, services. So probably we're going to add all the Ring of Honor stuff. And maybe at some point they're going to try to do the WWE Network. Maybe the pay-per-views. Maybe not quite yet, because the pay-per-view money is big on them, because people actually order them on the stuff. But they just agree, and they just came to terms to an agreement for HBO Max. So there you go. But you just said it. Ring of Honor, I think, is a good option for them. Like you said, there's going to be a lot of guys that maybe they can go in, even the older guys, Christopher Daniels, that we're going to talk about in just a little bit, crossovers. This is going to be great because both companies are going to benefit from each other. So there you go. Tony got a lot of vision there. I like the idea.
And he led into this first match because he said, at their first pay-per-view, I guess, I'm not familiar. I don't know the Ring of Honor history, but I guess it went to a draw or no finish or a DQ or something. He said, they had the first, title match or the first, main event of their first pay-per-view, and, nobody won. So, here they're going to settle the score, almost 20 years later. And then he introduced Bryan Danielson. He came out, Christopher Daniels, and, they had a good 15-minute match. Daniels, we haven't seen him in the longest time, and I was thinking, oh man, I hope he's not done. You can see he's at the end of his rope, and I'm not trying to shoot the guy down or anything, but you see his career, he has a lot more behind him than ahead of him. But he still put on a good match here, and you gotta credit a lot of that to Bryan Danielson. He's so good, but Danielson, not Danielson, excuse me, Christopher Daniels, he still hit, his stuff, and he still looked good and looked strong in this. I liked when he hit, the Arabian, the moonsault or whatever you call it.
That would be Sabu, yes.
Yeah, he actually hit that move, because the last time, when he flopped it on Penta, that was a big gif going around the internet, people making fun of him. And I had a good laugh, but, I like when the guy can redeem himself. And this was, a great match. And like I said, 15, 20 minutes they gave these guys. Big comeback at the end. He sets it up, and he goes for the best moonsault ever, but Danielson catches him in the triangle. Bunch of punches to the head, double bicep flex. The ref calls it because he sees Christopher Daniels is out cold, and Danielson wins this thing. So great opening match, and to two Ring of Honor, guys who were there at the beginning of that company pretty much.
And I think both of them are going to be a Hall of Fame. So, like, there you go, like, alongside CM Punk. So, like, Danielson after that just grabs the mic and just said, hey, that was, like, Ring of Honor, but this is Ring of Honor anymore, so this is AEW. So he starts stomping the guy out. John Mox, of course, comes out. So they go at it. I mean, like, promo wars again. He says, oh, you want to go at it? You want to go through hell with me? Yeah, we're going to, like, go blood and all of that. And he's like, hey, you want to take a shot at me? Because not even you are going to stop me right now. But Danielson playing like classical heel. I like that, he's about to like do it. He squares and then he just like, nah, you know what?
Yeah, I mean, Moxley is a one-trick pony. You know what I mean? And sometimes his trick, when you don't see it for a while, it's, wow, that's a really good trick. But every week, he's the slow walk to the ring. He does that shoulder shake like he's trying to scratch his back against the wall. You know what I mean? Like, like that feels, he does that.
Like the Vince McMahon walk.
Yeah. And it's like, it's the same shtick every week. What if he was beating on Daniels and the music hit and he looks for him and then he jumps from the crowd and boom, 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 it gets on him and maybe saves
I was thinking that was going to happen.
Something, but no. He lets Daniels get the shit beat out of him. Then he slow walks to the ring. Same thing. Oh, violence. We got to go through hell, man. Oh, my God, man. And Moxley, I like him, but I mean, hey, you got to switch it up. Got to be something decent. And the one thing, though, my personal opinions aside, this match I'm looking forward to because this is something we don't see very often. But we're going to see it a lot on this pay-per-view, actually.
Yes.
But,
there's a lot of good rivalries.
Two superstars, or two wrestlers, let's call them. And it's, where they're both guys are main event.
Yes.
And you really can't predict who's going to win because we watch a WWE pay-per-view and 9 out of 10 matches we get right.
Yes.
Maybe the one we don't get right is the one for the SmackDown tag titles, which who gives a shit? But I mean, this is something where it's, every match is so good, it's so intriguing, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, exactly. So that's all I can say on that. At least we know that like the winners are going to be unpredictable, and see all these guys. Actually, in a way, I'm just going to say they're a little bit overshadowing, the main event, the title, because
the world title match is like the third or fourth match on the card.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be difficult to book it. Even like Tony Khan said that, like, of course, Cole and Hangman are going to be the main event. But then a little bit of a promo from Darby Allin Sting, just saying that Darby Allin is going to fight on Rampage for the TNT Championship. And also he said that like at Revolution, though, he's going to be teaming up with Sammy Guevara and Sting, going against Andrade, Matt Hardy, and also Isaiah Cassidy. So just words from these guys. I mean, they're still a tag team. I don't know why Sting's there.
This is a match just to get all these guys on the pay-per-view.
Yes.
I would have rather seen the triple threat for the championship. So now that the TNT title's not being defended, this is a match where I'm going to be honest. I'm going to want to see the finish. But most of the match, that's when I'll be taking a crap, or I'll be getting food, or I'll be doing juice, or something, whatever.
Exactly. So like those are the matches that are not really that interesting. So let's talk about like the Casino Battle Royale. We needed to determine another contender, the last one for what is going to be the triple threat for the tag titles. So FTR started out with Top Flight. I mean, what did you think about the whole thing? A little bit of justice, but we predicted at the end the Young Bucks were going to win, so that was the only thing that Tony Khan went like the easy way on this booking of this match.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff to talk about, but obviously, most of it, it doesn't mean too much. The thing is, they really had you believing that FTR kind of had a chance. And I do like that but to touch on, the two guys, FTR, Top Flight, I like how, I think it's Darius Martin. I like how he came back. He was good, and they gave them an entrance, a little bit of a showcase for him to come back. That was cool. That was a surprise. And they
got to see Santana and Ortiz too.
Yeah, they were in it, and I like how they did this better. This felt a lot better than the other one when everybody was in the ring. It was like every couple minutes another team would come out. You know, this was good, almost like a Royal Rumble of tag teams, essentially.
Yes.
And you know, this was really good. And you know, the Young Bucks, they got their big entrance, and the FTR and them had a stare down. Then a big schmoz, big brawl happened. You know, the Ass Club, they came in. Danhausen, you saw that fat, you know, loser. What's his name? Evil Uno. You know, he got him and Danhausen had interaction. If you like that stuff, good for you. I mean, but then eventually,
these are the last three.
The last ones, and then we see I think it was Cash and Dante Martin. They kind of suplexed each other over the top, and then you see Red Dragon here. They cause a distraction. Dax, he gets knocked out by the Young Bucks or by Matt Jackson. And then Matt and Darius go at it for a while. The one thing I don't like, we knew that Matt Jackson was going to win, the Young Bucks win, you know, no surprise there. But Darius Martin looked really good. A lot of times he would like look to the crowd or kind of hang on the ropes or turn his back. And then I know commentary needs to say, oh my God, no, turn around. But they sold it that the kid was an idiot.
Yes.
They're like, oh, you know, he's been away for a year.
Like, what the hell are you doing? Like,
yeah, and like, I mean, you don't got to say it every single time. You know, maybe say it once or something, but, you know, don't bury the guy either. But, you know, we knew the Bucks were going to win. And, you know, I mean, who do you think? Because then, you know, the Jurassic Club or the Jurassic Express, Jurassic Losers, you know, Christian and his little buddies, they all came out. And, I mean, what do you think?
Red Dragon for this one, Paul.
I mean, I really hope so. But, this is, again, all these matches are intriguing. You really don't know. The only thing I'll say for certain is it's coming off the Jurassic Express. There's no way that...
Yeah, that's actually coming out because they're not really doing anything with it. And, you know, I don't want the titles to be on the Young Bucks again. So I'm thinking if they want to prolong the storyline with the Bucks and Adam Cole.
Well, then, hey, I was going to say, if you do that, then do you put the belt on Adam Cole?
Yeah. Yeah, it will be
there.
There's a lot of
do you do that prophecy right away? I mean, yeah, a lot of stuff really.
So for me, I'm thinking that if they put the belt on Red Dragon, maybe not on Adam Cole quite yet. Maybe they can go ahead and do another pay-per-view or one of those mini shows or big shows that they have throughout the week. But that's what at least I'm thinking, because just the Young Bucks one more time champions. I don't think like Tony Khan or AEW is all about having the same guys as champions. So I mean, unless you're Cody, but you know he's not there anymore. So there you go. So for now, I think Red Dragon is a safe bet right there. And Chris Jericho just got another promo about Eddie Kingston. Nobody cares about Jericho at the moment. You know, I still love the guy, but like he's really weak right now for me. I mean, Santana and Ortiz, like I kind of like made. You know, they mended their relationship a little bit. They came, they should like do the fizz and everything. And they said, are we cool? Maybe. We'll see what happens. Like you said, Eddie Kingston needs to win this match. Yeah, Eddie Kingston is the guy needs to be put over here.
See, I like the promo last week from both guys. And, you know, I like, you know, Jericho in the beginning of this because last week, you know, when he called Kingston a babyface, Kingston kept it kayfabe. And he's like, what's a babyface? Mm-hmm. You know, what does that mean? And then he's like, oh yeah, you know, when we had our promo last week, he's like, oh wait, you probably don't even know what that means, a promo. So you know, Jericho's clearly a heel, and I like this. And then it was, you know, it should have ended. The promo, it was good, boom. You know, he said he's the star, you know, he's still the number one guy here, all this and that, putting himself over. It should have ended. Then Santana and Ortiz came, which I thought them and Kingston were friends, unless I missed something. Then they fist bump Jericho, and then Jericho looks like a lost puppy. He's like, we're still friends, right? You know I have your back. I'm like, what? I'm like, what the hell is this? That was like a dumb ending to that segment.
Yeah, I didn't like that either. I don't know what was that needed. Yes, exactly. Yeah. But we'll see what happens. At least Eddie Kingston needs to win.
Kingston has to win. That one I would say is a safe bet that Kingston's going to win. But, you know, I don't know.
But the politics can go in because, like, you know, Jericho's going to say, I'm not going to put over anybody. Or, you know, any other guy that you want me to. But some guys, but we'll see what happens.
Orange Cassidy, I will, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. You know, like, if he did Cassidy, he has to do it for Eddie Kingston. Let's go to now CM Punk. CM Punk comes out. He's actually trying to be a little bit more friendlier. Or he's trying to, like, not bury so much MJF. Meaning, like, he's, like, trying to relate to him. Oh, everything that you said, I kind of, like, I'm worried out about it. And then MJF comes out, and then he said, "Oh, I've done mind games too." You know, he mentioned the thing with Jeff Hardy. He mentioned the thing with the Undertaker. He mentioned a lot of things with Triple H. So you know, he's trying to relate. The one thing that like I was laughing about is this. You know, like the hug, because I know MJF is going to turn on him. There's no way that it's going to end like this. And having the type of match that they're going to have. Go ahead.
And I mean, CM Punk, you know, in the beginning, he said what we were all saying last week. He's like, you know, I think he's gaslighting me. I think he's saying something to get me to think one way, you know, to manipulate me. But, you know, I don't believe him. And then the crowd kind of like, oh, so, and he's like, well, I'm not saying he wasn't bullied and wasn't picked on for the things he said, but but was it really my fault? You know, maybe those things were true, but maybe he was always an asshole. Maybe it wasn't, you know, it had nothing to do with me, you know.
Yes.
What, you know, why should I feel bad, you know, for what I did? You know, I did, you know. But eventually he's like, you know what? I was a sick, you know, messed up guy, whatever. Like you said, you know, they hug it out. And you knew that's when it was coming. And I'm thinking, is he going to kick him in the nuts? Wardlow, what's going to happen? You know, no, you know, nut shot. He kicks him. And, you know, he hits his, like, pile driver, I think, you know.
He did a nice pile driver in the middle of the rope. Yes.
Yeah,
I like that. And, you know, you get to see the shirt right there with, like, the picture of CM Punk and him.
Yeah, that's legit. You know, I'm sure if they actually sold that, people would buy that.
Probably they're actually going to sell that. I mean, you know how they are about money.
Go ahead. No, take us through.
Oh no, well, like you said, then we got to see Wardlow. Well, not Wardlow, but we got to see also Shawn Spears, and also like MJF went with like the diamond ring, and then he busted him open really good. Like you said, look at him.
Yeah, really good.
Passion of the Christ right here.
Yeah, I mean, and he like was. I mean, CM Punk's face. I mean, you want to talk about crimson mask? I mean, that was like it looked like he was wearing Kane's mask on his face, you know, and MJF wipes the blood, wipes it on the shirt. I mean, if MJF is smart and wants some money, he'll sell that shirt and he'll get a good amount of money for that thing. But, you know, he, you know, pretty much says that, you know, he's the snake, you know, and he goes biblical here when you want to talk about the passion. You know, he says that, you know, I'm the snake and I'm going to prove at the, you know, on Sunday that I'm the devil himself. He's like, you know, and he called the audience all a bunch of dumb sheep. I mean, this was great. I mean, this is the main event. Yes. This is the main event, whether it's the first match, second match, fifth match, you know, whatever. It don't matter where this match is on the show. This is the pay-per-view. I mean, this is the rivalry is like
it's really good. It's been really good. I mean, especially because of these little things. Of course, we got to see Darby Allin and Sting coming out again just to like help out CM Punk. I don't like this.
Yeah, they came out to make the save, and it was. I mean, like I said, maybe because CM Punk, Darby Allin and Sting, you know, teamed up with CM Punk a bunch of times, but. You know, I don't really know any rivalry here. It's not like Wardlow's going after Sammy's title and that feud somehow intertwined or, you know, whatever. It doesn't make any sense that they came out, but I mean, I guess somebody had to make this save.
Exactly, like, and that's the thing.
It should have just been a bunch of officials, to be honest.
No, yeah, it should have been just officials or just MJF, just retreats, just goes. To
I mean, we knew Tony Khan. We know. I mean, not that he's not always there, but we know Tony Khan was in the house, and we just saw him. Why wasn't he coming out with the officials? What the hell? What's going on here? You know,
yeah, well, the one thing is Tony doesn't want to be a character yet on the show. That's, I guess, he's only there for like the little thing, like, oh yeah, I bought this, and then one thing, remember, Shane is not here. Shane is not here. Like that was cool. You know, like Tony Khan, when he wants to be cool, he can be cool. You know, let's give him that, you know. And at least the vision that he has, one more time, for like, at least it's going to give a lot of people chances, a lot of, like you said, and we said it when we talked before the show, like Dark Elevation, guys that are not featured in Dynamite at all, at least can have a room, have his own space on like the Ring of Honor. So that was going to be good. Keith Lee, and also like we get to see Ricky Starks, they're still have this rivalry. It seems like that is going to be the first big program forward is going to be Keith Lee and Power Hobbs. They have like a stare down. So like you said, they're going to give this on free TV. That kind of sucks because this could be another pay-per-view match. You know, these powerhouses going against each other. This is going to be really cool. And Ricky Starks also again is going to benefit for this feud. But Keith Lee, I don't know where he's going to go though. Hopefully, it will depend on the ladder match for me.
I really think he needs to win it. I mean, you have some guys in there that could also potentially win, but I think Keith Lee needs to win, and he actually showed some intensity here in the promo. I mean, he got literally no words out, but then, Ricky Starks was like, like making fun of the way Keith Lee talks, and then he actually fired back. He's like, you know what, you want to interrupt me again? And he actually showed some intensity, some fire, and you're like, okay, hey, I guess the big man can get pissed off, but, and he's just like, hey, man, I'm warning you. You show up on Rampage on Friday for the pay-per-view, it's not going to be good for you. And then Keith Lee's like, you know what? Wherever I go, I guess I'll see you there. So if anyone say, hey, if I decide to show up and I see you, it is what it is. Keith Lee's not backing down from nobody. This is good. Will he appear on Rampage? I guess we'll find out in a little bit,
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like how you like setting it up. I love it. And let's go to like the girls' action now. Let's go to like a tag team. I don't like this just based on the fact, Paul, that like they should never touch each other.
No,
this not that type of touching that all of you are thinking.
And like not saying the matches were bad, but just from a booking perspective. After the you could even count the tag team battle royal, tag team Royal Rumble, whatever you want to call it. if you want to, but from there on, the show wasn't as good.
Yeah.
You know, you could think like, why is this tag match happening? And then even then the main event, why is this tag match happening?
Yes. Yes. That was the only thing. Like, I mean, like, you know, after the promo for MJF, the CM Punk, that was, you know, really, really good because, I mean, you need that type of action for the type of match that you're going to have. But in this one, you know, like the girls, you should have needed maybe like a, you know, promo and then somebody attacks. I would have been much better with that. But like we have Thunder Rosa and Mercedes Martinez going against Britt Baker and also Jamie Hager. And I mean, the match was, like I said, good. The girls know what, like, they give decent matches. You know, we're not going to criticize that. The only thing, again, is that we got to see action from Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa when they should have just kept from each other. And we got to see at the end, you know, the Thunder Rosa and Mercedes Martinez winning. But again, she winning means that she's Britt Baker is going to retain in classical wrestling booking. She's not going to beat Britt Baker 2 times in a row.
Yeah, and you really think is like, well, then who are they setting this up for?
Yes.
Unless after the match you're gonna debut the hottest woman babyface in all of wrestling, which who's that? Did Becky Lynch or Rhea Ripley somehow get out of their contract? I mean, who
I mean, that? It could be, if you think about it, it could be maybe, like, I don't know, maybe it could be
no, I mean, no one will pop for Toni Storm. That Toni Storm isn't more over than Thunder Rosa.
Yeah, it's true though. It's true.
And,
you know,
and people don't like Tessa Blanchard. She would come in as a heel. She'd be like a Charlotte 2.0. You know, she'd be like a heel. So nobody would like her. I mean, Thunder Rosa, I think, has to win. So if she wins on, you know, Sunday, you're really gonna have your champ lose here twice. I mean, that's just not good. I mean, I didn't like this. The match was good. All 4 women are good, but just the ending and the fact that it even happened, just not good.
That's the one thing about, because like I will say Deonna, but if she, you know, she's a heel on Impact, so she cannot be babyface here. But I mean, it will be cool to just see, like, finally, you know, the forbidden door being open for the girls, because Jordan Grace, all of them like have complained, like, hey, we got to see guys going in and out, but like, what about the girls? So that will be something. Or maybe Amber Moon, but I don't know if that's, you know, like you said, that's pop worthy, you know, for everybody. Yeah, you're absolutely right on that. There's not a woman that can pull out that unless Ronda Rousey can work AEW and WWE, and I don't think that. And you know, Ronda Rousey's not even that popular or anything. I mean, that big with the WWE audience. And we know what she does. It's all good. But let's go with Wardlow and Cesar Bononi. It was just like 3 seconds, power bomb, done. Why? Because we have some tension. You know, we're insane. Like, I think the breaking point, the initial point, the initial kick for this Wardlow turn, you know, going to babyface is going to be Revolution, and you see the big stare down with Sean Spears because he started like to beat him up with the chair. He's stopping from it. So this is good. You know, Wardlow is going to be like the next maybe big baby face right here. And you know, before we go to like the matches on Rampage, see MJF and Wardlow finally have a big stare down right there. What did you think about this? Because I loved it. I love it.
Yeah, excuse me. This was good because MJF, our pretty much Wardlow. He just said that, yeah, you only win matches because, you know, I'm always having your back. And then, you know, he got in his face. He's like, listen, you're not a wrestler. You're not employed by AEW.
You work for me.
You work for me. So, I mean, you see like the tension there. Sean Spears is a goon. He's a clown. Nobody cares.
Cassie Lee, baby. That's all he has.
Yeah, these are the 2 guys right here that you actually care about. And, you know, maybe Wardlow plays a factor in the dog collar match. And nobody knows. Maybe he goes to do something with the diamond ring again. Wardlow grabs it, you know, maybe pretends to break his finger, pulls the ring off, throws it, chucks it. You know, I wouldn't actually throw the real ring because that's worth money. You know, give him a fake ring to throw that's made of plastic or some bullshit, you know.
Exactly.
But, you know, maybe he finally turns babyface after this. But this interaction was great.
Exactly. So, like, we got to see, like, you know, really cool stuff happening in the Revolution. Like you said, it's going to be the beginning for a lot of new storylines. So I'm really happy about that. So now, Paul, let's take me to some matches on like Rampage. Like you said, Keith Lee is going to be in action. That is going to be really interesting to see. Like, maybe, I don't want to see Ricky Starks, maybe somebody like an enhancement talent. We need to see Keith Lee winning, especially because remember, like, his debut was okay for the most part, but then we got to see, you know, like a private party and everything, like that kind of like tarnished it a little bit. That took away a little of like the buzz that Keith Lee had. We're gonna see the Professor, you know, in 5 minutes, you Serenity Eve. This is gonna be cool. I'm thinking that Hikaru Shida maybe can come back. I'm not completely sure, but that will be cool to just see if she can show up on a Revolution to maybe start the feud again or maybe have the match. We'll see what happens. We got to see also, this is good. I don't know what you think about this, but Christian Cage in this case has to win because he's going to be the last member added into the ladder match. It needs to be Christian. Hopefully, I don't want Ethan Page. Ethan Page, I'm sorry. I have nothing against the guy, but if he would have been on Impact, he would have been much better.
Yeah, Ethan Page, we saw him in that last year. And to me, if you had Ethan Page and you had Orange Cassidy in there, you have two joke guys. Because Ethan Page is a good wrestler, but in AEW, he's just been presented like a joke. So at least Christian adds a veteran in this match. He can help lead this thing. Because who's in there that's super experienced? Ricky Starks is good and Keith Lee's good, but Christian is at least a super veteran in especially these ladder matches. He can help lead some of these guys. Hey, do it, whatever. So Christian to me should go in and at least then he'll be featured on the pay-per-view who deserves a pay-per-view payoff more, Christian or Ethan Page?
Exactly.
Give it to Christian.
That's what I mean. And you need, like you said, you need a general. You need a ring general on that. I like the idea. So for me, Christian needs to be added into the ladder match. We're gonna see also legit Layla Hirsch against Kris Statlander one more time. The reason why we're seeing this in the buy-in is just because Statlander is gonna have a character, a gimmick switch. She's gonna drop all the alien stuff, whatever. So we're gonna see maybe a different version of Kris Statlander at the expense of Layla Hirsch. That's fine. We're gonna see Hook against also QT Marshall. I don't know if you wanna, if you have any interest in on this. It's gonna be 5 minutes, and not even 5 minutes. 2 minutes and done.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be watching the buy-in because, the one thing is that to just quick mention that the women's matches, if they do a gimmick change for Statlander, she's got to turn heel.
Yes.
Because, if what she said about Layla Hirsch, I didn't hear the promo or anything, but she's like, oh, you said my parents gave me up because they didn't want me because I was bullshit. I'm like, I don't think a babyface says that. That's like a heel line.
And, for everybody, Layla Hirsch, she was adopted. That's what it is.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. So if
she's mean as fuck,
so that's like a heel move. So if she does, kind of like a Serena Di Brijo, let me change heel at the pay-per-view on the pre-show.
Exactly. That will be cool. Exactly. That will be a good thing for Statlander also. Tell me about the House of Black because the House always wins. Good promo by these three guys, but they need to absolutely introduce the trios like the tag titles.
Yeah.
Just because without them, these guys are lost. There's nothing to fight for.
They're useless. Malachi Black is like a really excited kid with a brand new toy or something, and I feel like Triple H was the only guy who was able to calm him down and keep him on a straight and narrow. Because every other time this guy is too gimmicked up, he's too spooky. Like people said, he's trying to be the Undertaker when he's clearly not. It's just he needs to tone it down. NXT was the only time I've seen this guy presented, as legit as he could be. And to be honest, I really don't care. Buddy Matthews is there, okay. To me that that balloon deflated real quick. Brody King, I really don't care about, and not saying any of these guys are bad wrestlers, but just, I don't care. There's too much.
It's not as good, like you said. The one thing with Aleister Black, the character is better on its own. He doesn't need the lackeys, and especially you need to win stuff. Like you said, the only person that could pull off that is the Undertaker. But they always took care of him. He was never pinned that many times. So that's why they always protected the character. So either maybe in this case Brody King or Matthews would take the pin. He never got the pin and stuff like that. But and also the rivalry with Penta and Phoenix is not there. Pac is also suffering from this kind of feuds. I don't know. I'm not really happy with all these situations. But that's what we have. Paul, don't forget, like I said, triple threat match is going to be in Rampage. We're going to see the TNT Championship being defended. In this case, hopefully Andrade or we get to see Darby Allin winning it, because again, if they're not gonna be defending this title at the pay-per-view, I don't know. Rampage is not a good place because nobody even watches Rampage. That's the thing. Nobody really watches it. So
yeah, I don't know. To me, I think it's just gonna stay on Sammy. They're really trying to sell Rampage.
Where the hell is Miro? We'll keep saying every week.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't care. I'll see the spoilers tonight, and
Exactly. We will know it within 3 minutes. So Paul, let's go to the main event. Like you said, another trios match. We got to see Hangman Page with the members from the Dark Order and Alex Silver, and WWE Reynolds, and I don't know, and against the Undisputed Era or however you want to call it. And I mean, this, like you said, it should have never happened. Just because, I mean, it's cool that we get to see everybody, and finally the AEW Championship is featured at the end of the show. But I don't know. In this case, maybe more like a promo, something like that, like a word, something like promising what's going to happen on the pay-per-view. I mean, for what it was decent.
Yeah, I mean, you remember how NXT would always do the really cool, 2-3 minute long promo things, whether it was Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole, or whether it was Keith Lee and Karrion Kross, something, a hype video, something to get you excited. That's all I would have needed to see.
Yes.
I mean, this match, was it good? Yes. Everybody, Red Dragon and Adam Cole, great wrestlers. Adam Page is good. Reynolds and Silver aren't bad. I mean, they may be a little small, a little skinny, whatever, but they're not the worst guys in the world. And this was all right, but no, not when it's the World Heavyweight Champion and the number one contender or his challenger. No, I don't want to see him in this match. And eventually, Adam Cole, he tags out because he doesn't want to face Page, but then they go at it and everybody save it for
the pay-per-view. Save it for the pay-per-view.
Yeah, they're not.
They tie out Hangman Page, Adam Cole like super kicks, punches, and he said, "This is my title now. This is my possession." Stands right there, and we get to see the Undisputed Era, the former Undisputed Era, you can say it, and the members just celebrating and tied Adam Hangman Page. So I will say, the ending is interesting. It is not terrible. I'm not saying it was absolutely terrible. Maybe they should have never just had the match, but at least the heel gets the upper hand. Does that mean that Page is going to get the win on Sunday? I'm not really sure, but it will be a title switch.
The only thing about this that makes it less impactful is that you're having another show be watched by the fans immediately, and we're going to see another show on Friday if you're not there in the building. The last visual, if that's going to be the last thing, that should be if you're going to do it, that should be the last thing we see. That's all, because the last thing, you don't want to see your champion get beat up and then see other matches. No, then that should be the last thing you see to get you excited to see the pay-per-view. Yeah. But, hey, they book it how they book it. He does what he does. And, he bought Ring of Honor. So, there we go.
Hey, he bought the Ring of Honor. We got to say he has enough money, and that's because all of you guys know. We will not get in that mix because we have not purchased any AEW product. We watch the show, we review it. Different story, guys. Thank you so very much for being with us. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We will have the review for AEW Revolution. This is the third time that we do it. But we're really excited. Like you said, out of all the cards that we've seen, this is going to be the most loaded one. There's going to be surprises, probably some debuts, like you said. Something interesting in the women's division, like you said. There was something also with Tay Conti and Jade Cargill. That's Jade has to win easy. Jade is on fire, like you said. She's the girl that at least I will say even at a higher level than Britt Baker right now. Just because Britt, I'm sorry, the rivals that she's had, this is a little better, but before that, Riho, not really what we wanted to see from the champion. But otherwise, Paul, where they can find us in the social media?
You guys, make sure you follow us, Rope Break on Facebook, OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok, and of course right here on YouTube, the home of the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, the Original Rope Break.
And you and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...